CDC reports in 2014 that 9 people die and over 1,000 are injured every day because of distracted driving. This means that it is a common problem within our culture, and also that it is likely something that you or someone you know has participated in. I have had personal experience with distracted driving and the harmful effects that it could cause. My brother was killed because of a distracted driver, and the man that killed him was on his phone. Because of this, he swerved into his lane, but this could have been prevented if he had put his phone down and waited, or if he had pulled over on the side of the road. Despite the high mortality rate of distracted driving and its ability to destroy survivors' lives, it is still possible to make a difference on the individual level and to prevent future disaster. Distracted driving is a preventable cause of death that is supported by pop culture through films, TV shows, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and also radio. Also, the death or injury from distracted driving does not belong in our future and needs to be cured by this generation. In order for our culture to change, it needs to be reached on the individual level and spread through education and awareness. I believe that everyone has had experience with distracted driving, even if they don't know it, and that's why it's such an important problem for us to face. The CDC reports that in 2012, nearly 4,000 people were killed and close to 400,000 were injured because of distracted driving. This is a 9% increase from 2011, meaning that this problem has increased and is becoming worse and is very relevant for us in this generation. There are killers that we can't yet prevent, like cancer, but distracted driving is preventable, which is why it's important for us to face it and find a solution today. It wreaks havoc on surviving families and can ruin people's lives, whether they are the person that causes the accident or the victim of the accident. The problem of distracted driving has been influenced and supported through media such as movies and TV shows. These forms show that distracted driving is okay and not as harmful as it really is, and sometimes even portrayed as being cool, which is very dangerous and very incorrect. The Blank Children's Hospital in 2014 outlined how there are 3 different kinds of distractions, specifically visual, cognitive, and manual. From that, Conti in a 2014 article, dissected that and went further, saying that there are many different forms that they take. Specifically with a phone, you could be calling or texting, which uses 2 different forms of distractions, both visual and cognitive, and that doing other things like eating while driving are all taking your attention away from what you're supposed to be doing, which all count as a distraction. Even having a deep conversation with someone who's in your car counts as a distraction. We may not be aware, but it is all around us and highly prevalent in our society. It is a problem that each of us has to face and needs to be aware of before we can come up with a solution. This generation needs to be the one to end distracted driving, and that starts by being aware. So in the study done by Olson, Schutz, and Eaton in 2013, they found that 16-year-olds admitted to driving distracted 32.6% of the time, and that 17-year-olds admitted to 50% of the time, and that 18-year-olds and older admitted to doing it 57.7% of the time. This is a serious problem, and our mindsets need to change to recognize that it exists. In another study done by Carney, McGee, Harlan, Weiss, and Raby in March of 2015, they discovered that 58% of the accidents within their study were caused by distractions, and that 34% of those were due to cell phones. People need to stop ignoring the problem if we want to be able to solve it. There needs to be also a shift in our culture to change, especially through media and film, because media and film influence our culture and American society so much. That's where we'll get a lot of our change. Also, it is likely something that you participate in, which means that you are part of the solution. The first thing that you can do is to lead by example, which means putting away your phone while you're driving. Second is to help educate. Talk to someone about the dangers of distracted driving and how they can help. And third is help shift our culture. Create a presence online through educational and awareness posts. So starting with you, the End Distracted Driving website in 2015 wrote on examples of how you can help. Some of these would be turning off your phone or silencing it while you're driving so that you're not tempted. Another would be calling ahead if you're going to go visit with friends so that they know when you're leaving and when you're going to get there, so that you don't call them while you're driving and they don't call you. Or also, does it make someone who's in your car, if you have a passenger, to answer your phone for you or to answer your text messages so that you don't have to do it? Also, help educate yourself and keep yourself aware of what's really happening. And then you need to help influence major players. So that means petitioning or getting part of an organization so that you can have a broader reach than just yourself and the circle around you. Creating awareness through social media is one of the biggest platforms where you can help make a difference. So something I would wish that you would remember is that a call or text or any distraction isn't worth your life or anyone else's. And that distracted driving is a preventable killer that we can stop, and that it doesn't belong in our future. And that we can make a change through shifting our culture, and that it could then help save a life. So I would like to end by asking you to take a stand against one of the greatest killers of our generation by putting your phone away and spreading the word, because you might just save a life.